Greetings, everyone. Today I want to quickly, uh, I'm gonna share a word that the Lord gave me, or, well, a word or vision that the Lord gave me. But before, I'm gonna read a two passages of scripture that are um, relevant to the word that the Lord shared with me. So it's found in two different passages. The first one is Hosea chapter 2, verses 11 through 13. And that's Hosea is after Daniel in the Old Testament. So Hosea chapter 2, verses 11 through 13 says, I will also cause all her mirth to cease, her feast days, her new moons, and her sabbaths, and all her solemn feasts. I will also I will I will destroy her vines and her fig trees. There, wherefore she hath said, These are my rewards that my lovers have given me, and I will make them a forest, and the beasts of the field shall eat them. And I will visit upon her the days of Baalim, wherein she burned incense to them, and she decked herself with her earrings and her jewels, and she went after her lovers and forgat me, saith the Lord. And now the other passage in Hosea, which is Hosea chapter 4, verses 10 through 19. And it reads, okay, and it reads, For they shall eat and not have enough. They shall commit whoredom and shall not increase, because they have left off to take heed to the Lord. Whoredom and wine and new wine take away the heart. My people ask counsel at their stalks, and their staff declareth unto them, for the spirit of whoredoms hath caused them to err, and they have gone a warring from under their God. They sacrifice upon the tops of the mountains, and burn incense upon the hills, under oaks and poplars and elms, because the shadow thereof is good. Therefore your daughters shall commit whoredom, and your spouses shall commit adultery. And I will not punish your daughters when they commit whoredom, nor your spouses when they commit adultery, for themselves are separated with whores, and they sacrifice with harlots. Therefore the people that doeth not understand shall fall. Though thou, Israel, play the harlot, yet let not Judah offend, and come not ye unto Gilgal, neither go ye up to Bethaven, nor swear, the Lord liveth. For Israel slideth back as a backsliding heifer. Now the Lord will feed them as a lamb in a large place. Ephraim is joined to idols, let him alone. Their drink is sour, they have committed whoredom continually. Her rulers with shame do love. Give ye. The wind had bound her up in her wings, and they shall be ashamed because of their sacrifices. Okay, so that was Hosea chapter 4, verses 10 through 19. And now I'm going to share the word that the Lord gave me. And this was on, well, I did not put a date on this one, possibly maybe 1 or 2 weeks ago. But as I was reading Hosea, that's why the Lord emphasized these two passages. The Lord, when I was reading Hosea, which is a relatively short chapter, the Lord gave me a vision, or I guess I could say a word, but because I saw something, it could also be called a vision. So in this vision, I saw, and I was reading, and that's why these two verses came to my mind after the Lord showed me this, and it has to do with mostly with Christmas and and how the Lord sees it versus how we see it. So, and I also think it's very relevant because the tradition of Christmas is coming next month, and I think the Lord wants His people to know how He feels about that festivity, if I should call it that, and how the Lord really perceives that versus how we think God sees it. So in this vision, as I was reading Hosea, what came to my what the Lord the image that the Lord put in my mind as I was reading, and I saw a let's say a middle high class American woman, and she was in this I was like next to a kitchen counter, and I saw this American woman, and she was like holding a candle, I think, and she was inside this big white beautiful house, and outside the house was snowing, and the house was inside and outside it was decorated with a lot of Christmas decorations. It had a tree, a lot of hanging things. It had lot of lights, and it was very bright and very colorful. So she had decorated her house in Christmas decorations, and I was on the other side of her counter, and she was not looking at me. She was looking towards my my right, but I was seeing her face to face, and in the dream I saw that next to her was another young man, but he was not her spouse. And I knew in the dream that this was her house. Sorry, so I knew that yeah, this was her house, and that she had invited him to come to her house to supposedly celebrate Christmas. And I saw that she had like prepared some candles, and she was lighting the candles, and her husband, and they were, like they looked very happy. They had smiles on their faces, and they were next to each other, like celebrating Christmas. But the thing is that the Lord, the information that the Lord put in my mind was that this woman had a husband, but that she used Christmas as an excuse to go with another person. And I knew in the not the dream, sorry, but the in this vision that I knew that her real husband knew about this other man being with her, but he didn't care. And I even thought that he may have also had another woman who was not his wife. So, and the Lord put him in the emphasis that the Lord put in my mind was that in America, and I knew that these people represented, you know, most of the, represented the Americans as a whole, and the Lord was the emphasis that the Lord put in my mind was that most Americans use holidays, especially Christmas, to go with other people that are not their husband or wife, and um, and I had the sense that this was normal, that this is not seen bad anymore in the United States, and um, and another thing that the Lord emphasized was that um, well I also saw that yes, they were celebrating Christmas, and I saw that she had everything in place, and she was basically, they were all following, um, let's just say, Christmas traditions. What people think one should do in Christmas. I don't know, like prepare uh, a tasty meal, like on Christmas Day or something, or a family party. And I saw these things, and um, and I saw that people were simply following what the media tells them Christmas is, or just buy a gift or party or do something. But it had to do with how people perceive Christmas and what they say people have to do. You have to do this at a certain hour, and then this, and then you wait for, I don't know, Santa Claus, and you get the presents. It's almost like a ritual. And when the Lord put this in my mind, the Lord had the Lord told me that when people do these things, I don't know why, but she had a candle, and the candle had something to do with Christmas tradition. Like she had to lit the candle and, I don't know, say a wish or something. But the thing is that it was part of Christmas tradition, and the Lord basically let me know His opinion on this, and well, what God has to say about this. And what the Lord said is that for Him, right, for God, these people are that He said that these Christmas traditions, and not just Christmas, but Halloween, Thanksgiving, Easter, April Fools, uh, all those holidays that people take off, especially in the United States specifically, that for God, He sees it as incensing to Baal, right? In the Bible, it talks a lot about this demonic god, a false deity actually, in that the Israelites sometimes worshipped when they just ignored God, or when they didn't care about God, or like um, many times when Israel departed from the Lord in her ways, they started to worship the gods of neighboring peoples, right? In this case, Israel. But in the United States, the Lord was saying to me that to Him, those Christmas traditions that people celebrate, they're actually incensing to Baal, and not just, not symbolically. Like, I had the idea that the Lord was saying that to Him people are incensing to the actual Baal of the Bible, like that actual deity or demon. So it was not like he didn't. Well, he said that it is just like they are. It is the same thing as incensing to Baal. So it's not kind of feels like it. No, it's the actual thing. And I think that's why the woman had a candle, like a ritual. And I don't know if people light candles for something in Christmas, although um, we never. Well, I don't celebrate Christmas anymore. Unfortunately, I used to, of course, because when I was a kid, I didn't know much, and I didn't have, the Lord's wisdom on this topic. But now that the Lord is revealing many things, He wants His people to know that Christmas is a, basically pagan rituals to Him. And even if people use the word Jesus, and they think, there's people that take two sides. They take the Santa Claus side, or others take the baby Jesus side, and that's all the same thing. To the Lord, it is like everybody that celebrates this abomination basically is incensing to the actual Baal in the Bible. So that is what the Lord said about Christmas. And I also had the idea that this woman, not idea, but the knowledge from the Lord. I knew that this woman was, one of those, um, you know, like many Americans, that they think that divorce is okay and that hanging out with multiple spouses is the norm, and that the Lord also told me that these people, these Americans that do this, that they take these holidays as an excuse to do this, right? To go with other partners. So, yeah, so that was the word that the Lord gave me on the week between November 14 and 21. Um, yeah, because the Lord didn't, I usually put dates on things that the Lord gives me, but in this one, the Lord didn't told me to put a date. I just placed like the approximate week that I had it, but not the actual date. Um, but yeah, that was that. Those are the words that the Lord wants to share about how He sees Christmas and American festivities. In fact, I'm just gonna read very quickly, just I think one or two verses. Yeah, the first verse that I read at the beginning in Hosea 2:11 talks about festivities, and it says, and I knew that now I know that this has to do with God's stance, and the Lord's stance to America, and it reads, "I will also cause all her mirth to cease." So mirth is like I think it's like a spice or an incense. Then, so I will cause all her mirth to cease, her feast days, her new moons, her sabbaths, and all her solemn feasts. So, and I know I understand in my spirit that the Lord will shortly, He will basically not allow, or um, I guess halt American holidays, because and because people have to really wake up and get out of that dreamy fantasy, actually. But they don't know that this is actually pagan. They don't know, and I've heard this before. I've heard people who study history, and they have said, not many people, but some people have talked about, on YouTube or on, I don't know, or an article on a website, where people have talked about how Christmas and Halloween and all those American, not, well, really not Christian holidays. People say they're Christian, but to Americans, Christian is just a tag. It's not a it's not something to pursue. To them it's just a tag, a name, a pretense, a quote. So, but no, none of the American festivities are Christian. They're all pagan, and many of them come from Celtic. Celtic is comes from ancient. I guess I could say ancient England or Britain, but yeah, because especially Halloween and Christmas. But um, the Lord has, because of this knowledge, me and my family don't celebrate that anymore. Pretty much, almost no. Well, yeah, no holidays. Right? Even though there's no work on that day, because we know that most of them are pagan. So that was the word that the Lord wanted me to share, and I will later share other things that the Lord wants me to share as well. And I thank you guys for listening. And yes, later I will share something else. So thanks for listening, and God bless. Bye.